Welcome to Power Hour, where the editors of Power Sports Business interview the movers and shakers of the industry. This episode is brought to you by Synchrony. Okay, hi everybody, it's Brendan Baker. We're here at East Central Motorsports in Kent, Ohio. It's actually Brimfield, but Kent is the mailing address, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, I grew up in this area, and I've driven by this dealership hundreds of times and gone, I gotta stop in someday, And so now the day's here. We're stopping in, and we're talking to Brad Tews and his daughter Reagan Junker, who's off screen here, and they have both recently been on a trip to China with Denago Power Sports. So, Brad, thanks for letting us be here today. And
you're welcome.
Yeah, and how was your trip to China?
The trip to China was very eye-opening.
Yeah.
It was both the country and Denago.
Have you ever been to China before? Or you ever been to Asia or anything?
Never been to Asia.
Okay.
No.
So it kind of was it like a culture shock a little bit of, like, oh my God, there's all this.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was different than I expected.
Okay.
It was very clean, very beautiful.
Yeah.
The people were really friendly.
In the Denago, you went with Denago, so they're Denago Power Sports. In the U.S., you went with David Garibian and Kevin Duke and a couple other dealers. Were there other dealers there?
There was 3 other dealers.
Okay.
Yes.
And so were they all equally impressed with the setup?
I think so, yes.
So it's like Tao Holdings or Tao Sports.
Tao Motors.
Tao Motors, gotcha. So, and Tao Motors is like the big parent company that they do. In China, they build like thousands of scooters, hundreds of thousands of scooters. Probably.
Many different products, yes.
Yeah, gotcha. Which,
I believe they're the largest exporter in the power sports.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah, that makes sense. So, and I mean, because they do everything, ATVs to golf carts and, obviously a lot of scooters. And I don't know if in China, the scooter market is still strong as it was, because a lot of people have gone into car, as they've increased their median incomes have gone up, they bought cars instead of, the scooters.
The scooters are still very popular.
Yeah.
You got to watch out. You might get run over.
They're all over the place.
They're all over the place.
I remember, I've been to Taiwan, and, Taiwan is interesting just because it's mostly scooters.
Yeah.
There's a few cars apparently, but you're just driving, swarming, everywhere you drive. There's a scooter over here, scooter there, like 10 scooters up in front of you.
That's pretty much the way it was. Yeah.
So now with your dealership here in Ohio, you're originally from Minnesota, though, right?
Correct.
So, and you came down here for love, right?
Yep. Yep.
You came down here for love, and then you set up shop when here?
2016.
2016, okay. So how have things progressed here for you in the because we've gone through COVID now, and you've kind of seen a few cycles. You came in, after the first recession, which, had a little bit of an impact on people in the power sports, but I think it was ramping up a little bit in 2016, headed into, 19.
Yeah. 2016 to 19 were very good years.
Yeah.
COVID was up and down.
Right.
The demand was there, but the product wasn't.
Right. So you had all the customers, but,
At one time, this building in here was empty.
Oh, okay.
And we could not get product.
Wow.
During COVID. Yeah.
And what are your, now coming out of COVID, you were SSR, you had, you kind of really came in here with SSR on the mind, and now you've kind of shifted to other products too. You got Bumpstar, Australian brand, but it's made from China.
Yeah.
What do you think of these value, you're kind of an expert in these value brands in a lot of ways. So
I think they're a very good value for young children.
Yeah,
Um, and now even moving into like Denago, bigger machines.
yeah.
I think they're great value.
So you're getting more adults looking at some of the bigger machines instead of
Yes.
all the kids, with a lot of the pit bikes. You get a kind of a mix of people that want a pit bike, but mostly kids probably.
The pit bikes are probably 50-50.
Gotcha. Okay.
You know, we never handled much for larger quads until I started handling Denago.
Okay.
Um, the demand for the larger Denago products has been great.
Yeah.
Um, People walk in and look at them, and they look them over and they say, that looks like the quality of, a big name. And
They're well built.
they are. Um, so I look forward to getting more product from them. I know they got some stuff in the works
Yeah.
that is even larger adult stuff. Really looking forward to getting that in.
Did you see anything in China that they were working on that was like, oh, okay, this is, they gave you like kind of like, okay, I'm pretty excited that.
Yes.
Okay. I know you
Yes.
can't necessarily say what it is, but
They've got a lot of interesting things going on.
Yeah. So, and I think Tenago being, even though it's a kind of a division of Tao Holdings, it's sort of its separate brand and kind of headed by David Gribian in the U.S., kind of building these things for this U.S. market, as far as like that kind of value centered market where you can get the whole family out on a machine pretty much for like the price of some people buying just one machine at another brand.
Yes, they're the value for the money on these things is great. My customers have loved them, and they walk in and they look at the pricing and they go, "Really?" Yeah, no, the customers are very happy because you're getting a lot for your money.
A lot of it is just getting when you're entering into it, especially as a kid or as like someone new to the sport, you're not ready to make a big investment on, maybe you want to, or maybe, but at the same time, you're like, let's just test the waters a little bit and let's see. But these things will hold up too.
Yeah. And yes, you're right. The parents will come in buying them for their children, and they go, I don't even know if they're going to like it. And that's one reason they're looking for more of a value product. But even the value products, I've been here since 2016. We've sold many of these. And as long as you take care of them, they take care of you.
Yeah. It comes down to customer service, really, in the old scheme of things is you take care of your customer, give them a product that you've got backed up. You've got, parts and accessories and things that they can add on to it.
I was kind of referring to that if you take care of the machine takes care of you.
Yeah, that too.
You need to do your basic maintenance.
Yeah. That too, yeah.
But yeah, we just haven't had a lot of issues with the product.
Yeah. Well, and that's a sign of something that you can definitely get behind to sell,
Right.
Because you're like, hey, these are pretty much plug and play, get on and go, and
There's even been different models of different brands that I handle that I won't handle.
Oh yeah.
And a couple of the brands, I didn't like them.
Yeah.
I can't sell something I don't like.
Right. I mean, it's hard to get behind something you're like, this thing's, gonna give and if you don't feel good about it, it's hard to get behind it. But, I think as far as like value brands go, I don't know, people are expecting, it's definitely, you get more bang for the buck. The machines are priced affordably, but they're so much more than what they are. They hold up well. They've got, they're well built, and not just Denago, but some of these other brands.
Correct.
And what do you think is the market now with these value brands? Like as far as what are people coming in looking for? Is it ATV? Is it or a little of everything?
We sell about 50% of each.
Okay.
Bikes and ATVs.
Bikes and ATVs.
At one time, it was more ATVs than bikes, but as the years have progressed, we're at probably a 50-50.
Okay. And do you think that has anything to do with that you've got more, your pit bike racing team, or you support a guy that's a big pit bike racer, right? And they
I,
know you maybe more from the pit bike type scene.
it definitely has an impact on it
Yeah.
because we are very big into racing on pit bikes. I've got two of the top 20 riders in the country ride for me.
Oh yeah.
And that's definitely helped the sales of pit bikes around here.
Yeah. And I think also pit bikes, don't get me, they're just easier to transport in a lot of ways, smaller, you can get a little trailer and hook it up, and some of the small ATVs are easy enough to throw in the back of a SUV if you want, or
Yeah.
a minivan, but
Yeah.
pit bikes definitely make it easy to, throw in the back of something very versatile in that way. So,
Yes, they are.
yeah. Now your pit bike racing team, is it a team you have, or is it more you're sponsoring a guy that is
Yeah, just kind of sponsoring a
yeah.
couple of guys.
And so you're the one kid that does pretty well. And I kept thinking he's a kid, but he's like 25 or something, or is he?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and he's racing pit bikes, but you say he's pretty phenomenal behind the bars on a pit bike. So what makes it a different? Because he will race in some of these same classes, where not classes, but in the same events where some of the other motocross bikes are running.
Yes, sometimes the races are in conjunction with big bikes.
Okay.
A lot of times when they are, he will also race a big bike. He prefers the pit bikes.
Yeah. Why do you think it is he likes it? What is different about the pit bike though? Really, it's other than
they're, well, depending on the class. The open class, your power to weight ratio is way more than a big bike.
Okay.
They're a handful.
Yeah.
They're a real handful.
Do you still have the small tires and wheels, or can you get bigger wheels and tires on?
No, you have to run a 12-14 setup.
Oh, okay. So it's a different type thing.
Yeah, and it's it's a lot smaller, not a lot lighter, but a lot smaller bike.
Yeah, easier to throw around maybe a little bit.
Yeah, a little bit.
But then some of that you're throwing it around, you're not going fast. As far as like you've got a full stock of like these little mini Mudhawk 6 ATVs. Some of them are the the electric one. Oh, the E-Hawk, right?
Right here.
Yeah, you've got the E-Hawk. How are those doing?
We've been selling some of those.
Okay.
I love them.
They're an interesting bike, interesting little ATV, because even though they're like for kids, I mean, adults get on them. I rode one, when we were out in Ontario for one of the launches there, and I was like, wow, this thing, I could see, having one of these myself, just to tool around the campground with, or haul stuff around the yard, whatever,
Yeah, I've handled some electric ATVs over the years. Was not real impressed with them.
Yeah.
Did Nago come out with this one, and I have nothing but good to say about it.
Yeah.
It is quality. I like that it is a internal motor and drive system versus a motor and a chain.
Oh yeah, right.
And of course,
so the drive system's kind of more hooked up directly to the axle.
Yes.
It's all coated. Is it a belt in there, or is it that drives it, or is it all kind of?
It's gear.
Gear. It's all gear to gear type. Oh, yes. That makes it nice. Yeah.
Very durable.
Yeah.
And then of course the lithium-ion batteries.
So it's like almost no maintenance involved.
Correct. Yeah.
That's a parent's. When parents hear that, they're like, okay, sign me up.
And they're also you can hook up to Bluetooth on your phone and control the speeds and everything.
Oh yeah. Oh, that's
so
cool.
A lot of neat safety features.
No, I mean, I think the products, and again, the youth market is very important, in my opinion, to the success of the overall power sport. This is where we build riders from.
Correct.
This is where we build the next generation of customers. in the next generation of people in this sport. So it's difficult. You don't want to gloss over this and just be like, oh, let's put something out, just make it small and throw it out there. It has to be, really uh, geared right for the kid. What are the feedback you get from little kids that ride this stuff?
Oh, they're usually pretty excited.
They're pretty excited.
Yeah. And it's a great way to get the young kids off the screen and outside.
Yeah. Outside of their, get them,
Yeah.
out of the video game world into the real game
Yeah.
type thing for sure. And I've heard also a lot of people will take, might buy a bigger machine for themselves. Maybe they're going to buy something that's, maybe too big for Janago to offer, but then they can come in and add on some of these value stuff for their children to take, do a whole family vacation with, and have some pit bikes around, go camping and, hit the trails.
Yeah.
Go down to Hatfield, McCoy.
Yep.
And just have a good old time.
Have a good weekend.
Yeah. So what other, going back to China now, what were some of the standout things that you liked about the trip? Any of the things you saw there, food wise? Did you, get to do anything fun while you were there?
We did a fair amount of sightseeing.
Oh, okay.
They took us around.
Where was it, in Shanghai?
We flew into Shanghai.
Okay.
Yes, and we spent a couple days there. Did some sightseeing, and then from there we went down to the factory.
Okay. How far is the factory from Shanghai?
Like 5-hour drive.
Oh, so it's not super close.
No.
But, yeah.
No. We spent about 3.5 days in the factory.
Okay.
And then we spent a couple days sightseeing around there also.
Yeah.
But yeah, the sightseeing was unbelievable.
Oh, I can.
Like I said, it was so different than what I was expecting. It's so beautiful.
Yeah.
A lot of fun.
You go into an old temple there and it's like, thousands of years old. You're like,
Yeah.
It blows you away sometimes, like how old this stuff
How old
is.
some of that is,
Yeah.
yes.
But
And the factory was also very clean.
Modern,
I guess,
kind of, and clean, and
yeah, I was really impressed at how clean.
maybe they did that
kept
just
it.
for you guys to show up. Nah,
No.
I'm joking.
No. But yeah, the factory was interesting.
Did they have a lot of different production lines going? Is it so? I've been to a few. I've toured Kimco and stuff, and they had a bunch of stuff going. You're like, they got lines over here. They got stamping plants. They had all this stuff.
Yeah, most of these machines, not all parts, but most of the parts are all made in-house.
Okay.
They-
That's probably a big key to how they control stuff, and they can keep costs in line and all that, because if they can make it in-house, that's a huge advantage.
Yes, I mean, they make their own bodies. They, obviously they don't make their own tires,
Yeah.
things like that, but the majority of it is made in-house.
And a lot of the casings or castings and things like that, they can do that in-house.
Yeah, a lot of the castings they outsource, but then they bring them in and do the final finishing on them, or final machining on them.
Right.
But yeah, it was many lines, down to, making their own wiring harnesses.
Oh, yeah.
And having this big test board where you can test it
They
all
can
when
test
you're
all the
done,
harnesses and stuff.
Yeah, it was just quite a process.
Yeah.
It was a lot more to it than.
Had you toured any of a factory like that before? And
not in the power sports world.
Okay.
I have toured the Ford truck plant before.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you've seen some of the big, production lines that have, but yeah, in power sports, it's still kind of, especially when you see it on a scale like that they can do, because they can, again, globally, power sports, they can, produce so many units and, crank them out per day that, and I know that the U.S. may be a smaller segment as far as power, but we're a pretty important segment, especially in the off-road
Right.
sector of it. That's where I think we have a unique position in the world as far as like we do a lot more off-roading than other places.
Yes. I was also very impressed with their engineers
Okay.
and what they're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
Some of the stuff that
Did they speak English? Were they engineer? Or did you have a translator?
we had translators
Okay.
with the engineers, but I was just really impressed with the what their goals are and what they're working toward.
Yeah.
It was pretty impressive.
Pretty neat to see that, and I'm sure that Donago and I know, like, in talking with Caribbean, like, he kind of comes up with an idea, shoots it off over there, and then they can make it happen, like make his idea into a reality.
Yes. And
So
we saw him tell him
Do
a few
it.
things that
Oh,
he
yeah.
wanted done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's over there directing. Well, that's great. I mean, that's awesome. So, I know here you've grown into this position here, the space more. You used to be more in the front part of the building here, right?
Yeah.
When you first started. And so it's expanded a little bit. Do you do much service work here, or is it mostly all just parts
No.
and accessories, new unit?
We do service also.
Oh, okay. You do some.
Yeah.
Okay. But with the reliability of these things, it's not like you don't have like 10 guys back there hammering away on
No.
fixing stuff.
No.
Now, in Reagan, your daughter, she went with you over there. How was that traveling? With you two travel together very much?
We do travel together a little bit.
Yeah.
It was great having her along.
Yeah. Now, what does Reagan do? She's marketing, or what is the role?
Marketing and sales.
Okay.
She's not as active as she used to be here.
Yeah.
She used to work here full time. Now she works here part time.
Okay.
She was my number one salesperson.
Oh, yeah.
We are down right now because business has been a little slower.
Right.
But we had a few salespeople before.
Okay.
And
now you say you're kind of flat up a little bit though this quarter, or is it you're
yes,
this okay.
quarter we're up a little bit from last year.
Do you we were talking a little earlier about some of the tariff situation. You think that's going to affect things going forward? What is your thought on what that could affect pricing and things like that? Do you think that'll have an impact on power sports? You think we're going to calm down now, and since they've kind of announced some deals? And
I believe it's still going to affect the power sports industry. Yes.
Yeah.
It's gonna shift a few things. Some of the people that are buying the name brand products are going to look for alternatives, and I think like the Donago products are a good fill for that.
Yeah.
Some of the people that were looking for the value products to begin with may not be able to afford.
They may be kind of like sitting on the sidelines for a little bit because they were
Correct.
barely able to do the value product.
Yep.
Yeah, that's kind of what I've heard. My ears that I've heard is just people maybe stepping down a little bit to, I'm going to buy something a little more affordable, maybe not quite the premium thing that I was thinking before, but I still want to be involved.
Right.
Still want to do it. So
I think it's just going to shift a little.
Yeah, maybe the ones that are on site, they might be more in the used market. Have you don't really do much used?
We don't get a lot of used stuff in.
Stuff. Okay.
Selling mainly products for the younger kids. A lot of times when a family is done with it, they've got other family that wants it.
Oh, okay. So they kind of pass
or
it along.
neighbors, or
Yeah.
And so we don't get a lot of trade-ins.
That's interesting. Yeah, because I tend to agree that and knowing from my own experience, it's like we had a bike. It might have been mine, and pass it on to my brother or whatever. We just keep it around as a toy to have whenever we want to mess around in the yard or pit bike type thing.
We actually get stuff in that's 2007, 2008,
Oh, yeah.
2009. It's probably been through 3 families.
Oh gosh.
There's not much left of the
Nothing
bodies
left
anymore, but the machines itself is still fine.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah,
But it's
if
usually
they
all
get
the body work and all that other stuff gets
Yeah.
beat up all around it,
just
you know,
crash them.
dumped and
But yeah, they get passed on quite a bit.
yeah. Well, that's, and that's another good thing about this stuff. It's like, not only is it, you may be selling one, but it's going to help build that next level of rider too,
Yeah.
So there's kind of that twofold effect of these kind of entry level machines, youth machines, but I don't know if they're all youth machines anyway. Again, Denago coming out with some of the bigger ATVs and some of the things they're moving into bigger stuff, but not, they're not going into the crazy like 1000s or 850s or, maybe they'll get to the 500s. I don't know. But
Yeah,
who knows?
we'll see.
We'll see what happens, right? There's probably a lot of stuff cooking, but at the same time, I think that their Denago's kind of motto or go-to thing is the value of it all. So I don't think they're going to try to build something that's not.
I think there is one other company
Okay.
and I don't even know that they're out yet.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
But somebody was talking about coming out with some.
Wow. So it is pretty rare. Then,
yes, it is.
Especially in the value kind of segment like that.
Yes.
Because that's harder to do. Well, I mean, that's a big selling point for sure, and people don't realize it. Again, that's, to me, I look at some of the stuff that I have. Bought my first electric mower because I got tired of rebuilding the carburetor. I'm like, all right. But yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot of upside. Now, you obviously sell a lot of other stuff besides unit. Do you do like, some parts and accessory sales and
we do a fair amount of parts.
Yeah.
Okay. Sell tires and helmets. And,
the usual stuff to get
usual
everybody
stuff,
outfitted. And you say you're getting a lot of stuff that are people that are from out of state, even, people coming from all over.
Yeah.
Some finding you on the internet and coming in. So that seems to be a positive thing, more. Do you have a website, like a e-com website or anything like that, or?
We do not sell anything online.
Okay.
We do have a website. A lot of our business is repeat and referrals.
Yeah.
Which is
the main
best customer you
can
get.
Yeah. Those are the loyal ones. Again, you get that repeat customer, and they know they're going to just keep coming back, and you're going to take care of them.
Yes.
So yeah, good stuff. Well, thank you so much. I really appreciate your time. I know you're getting ready to, shut things down, but I do appreciate your time, and we'll stay in touch. I'll be in around. I'm just down the road here, so
right.
I'll be stopping by more often for sure. Have to, might have to get one of these ATVs for later. So
we appreciate you stopping in.
Yeah, thank you so much, and
You're welcome.
And Reagan, nice to meet you as well.
Nice to meet you.
If you like this podcast, please like, share, and subscribe. We also invite you to connect with us on powersportsbusiness.com.